Nowadays, cinephiles and fans are in a dilemma. On one end, we get movies and series on the material we adore. Alien, Predator, The Thing, Scream, superheroes, Jurassic Park, and recently, Gremlins and RoboCop. Some are prequels, some are follow-up, and most are bad.
Oops, sorry.
Not only bad, but broken. So, on one end, you can not watch the new Star Wars movies and miss the kind of pop culture you grew up in, or you go see the movie and you might break your ankle in a big ass plot hole that soils the enjoyment of the part of the saga you love. Looking at you, Indy, the Crystal Skull was very bad, but broke nothing. While I look at these two trailers, it looks like someone is trying to toast a bagel with a pickaxe. You'll break something. Can directors from today touch these founding stones?
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, let's take a look how to build a movie with Joe Dante. Matinee is an American comedy where we follow the life of Gene Loomis, a kid fan of B-series horror movies, and his little brother. Like every kid, they go to school, play with friends,
Can you go down and shoot some tree frogs?
and meet new people. But on weekends, they go see matinees. Morning screenings where theaters showed movies from their collections, and sometimes they had test screenings. This one is Mant, by John Goodman. A good old friendly horror director that's more concerned about his success than not leaving live wires lying on the ground randomly. Seriously, that could have been really bad.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
All this while there's a state emergency. In fact, Florida is the target of a total nuclear war. Because of the proximity of Cuba, where the Russian government is pointing its nuclear warhead, the town is in disarray. Yay! Comedy! I'm not kidding, the movie has this aura of fear, from the characters to the constant radio background screaming doomsday. Some scenes are outright terrifying. It really puts in perspective the climate of the 60s. This movie is awesome and so refreshing. The introduction of our protagonist is super cliché, but somehow they don't fall in any tropes. The new kid with his little quirks going to a new school. We have the cool gang, the princess, the smart girl, the love stories, the misunderstanding, the older boyfriend. But none of these interactions we expect from today's school drama. The boys are curious about the new kid, so they invite him to talk. The kid expressed right away his love for horror movies. He makes friends. The princess doesn't belittle anyone. The smart girl is sweet. They get mad for the right reasons. They lie when it's justified. And most of all, zero bullying. It's just kids being kids. It's that simple. But the movie has much more to offer. Like most of Dante's, it's using a ton of references. Not only the set, but also in its composition. I've already touched on the way Dante uses his references, but unlike Gremlins, where homages were used to build this little world, in Matinee, real-life events, like the Messiah's Crisis,
They're gonna bomb us?
are present. This reminds me a lot of, spoiler for the Lego movie, when we reveal that the story's villain portrayed the relationship between the kid and his dad. This feeling of looking at a parody of ourselves is even reflected in this beautiful shot, where our main protagonist and his love interest are stuck in a bunker. How cool is that? A movie for kids that's also enjoyable as an adult. Matinee just nails it completely. That movie has 30 years, and is still up to date in its tone.
You think this is some kind of picnic for me?
Look at these scenes. Remind you of something? You can even see the representation of media in John Goodman's character, using public outrage to drive up crowds, creating fake controversies to manipulate public opinion, scare tactics justified by the noble cause, all very grounded in reality. It's really a must-watch. It's good morals for little, it's deep for grown-ups, and in a true Dante fashion, an Easter eggs for cinephiles. On the first look, you might be distracted by the posters and the obvious parodies. But like I said before, Dante uses other films as building blocks, like this wink at Forrest Gump, or this scene where we see Jean's mother grieving her husband over old memories. which is very similar from John Carpenter's Starman, a weird movie about an alien that's a mix between E.T. and The Thing. It's impossible for me to list every inspiration, so sound off in the comments. Go see the movie and tell me what you found. There's much more material than I found on the web. And remember, for each of these misuses of intellectual property,
that is too much, right?
there are movies like this, so seek them out. Make great directors matter, and may they live forever.